This new day comes with new strength and new thoughts. Your confidence and smile are the ingredients to fulfill your day. A very warm and healthy morning to one and all connected here. On behalf of AAA College of Engineering and Technology and Institutions Innovation Council, it's a pleasure to have all of you to this webinar on intellectual property rights. I hope this webinar will be the feast for your knowledge. Now I invite Dr. G. Vairamuthu, IPR Coordinator of IIC AAACET, to give the welcome address.
Good morning to all. On behalf of AAA College of Engineering and Technology, on behalf of IIC Council, AAA College of Engineering Technology, I invite all participants. First of all, I invite Mr. M. Arunachalam Sir, Senior DGM, New Product Development Center, L&T Coimbatore. Welcome you, sir. I invite Mr. Akilesh Joseph, IoT Product Development at Alpha DKG Japan, Business Development at Chatting Development at IoT Lab, IIC Bangalore. Welcome you, sir. I invite Mr. Dr. M. Segar sir, Principal of AAA College of Engineering and Technology. Welcome you, sir. I invite all professors and HODs from various engineering colleges for attending this webinar. Welcome you, sir. I invite all students from various institutions for attending this one webinar. Welcome. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite our dynamic principal, Dr. M. Shekhar, to felicitate the meet. Please, sir.
Principal sir is welcome to give the address. Please, sir. Okay, now I invite our resource person, Mr. Akilesh Joseph, to start his session. Welcome you, sir.
Our first session resource person is Mr. Akilesh Joseph. He is the IoT product developer at Alpha TKG Corporate Limited, Japan, head of IoT development in the Interdisciplinary Center for Water Research in IIS, Bangalore, and also the business developer in Chatting Bot Solution Private Limited at Chennai. Now I invite Mr. Akilesh Joseph to share his word of knowledge on innovation and IPR. Please, sir.
First of all, thanks a lot for Dr. Shekhar, sir, Principal of AAA College for this opportunity, and also Dr. Meena Prakash, madam, for arranging this webinar.
Sir, just a minute, Akilesh, sir.
Yes,
sir,
yes.
Principal has joined. Let him give a note, and after that,
Sure. Okay.
I invite our principal, sir, to share a few words on this webinar. Welcome, sir.
Hello, welcome. Good morning to everyone. Nice to see a lot of people here. I hope more people will join soon. I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Akilesh Joseph, who has done a lot of innovation and product development to his credit. I was a little busy moving here and there, so I came a little late. Excuse me for that. a few words about Akilesh is that I know him for several years. Lot of interest in developing new products. Most of us will concentrate only on academics, but there are only few people. There are only few people who can focus on multiple things, and Akilesh has such capacity. And after graduating from the college, he immediately started his own company and worked in some other places and gained enough knowledge. Now he has developed a ventilator, the crucial time at I think it is working very well, and he has produced that in a minimal cost. So great credits to him. And the other, Mr. Arunachalam, is a seasoned engineer who has a lot of industrial exposure in working with several companies. At present, he is working as about these aspects. So since I'm little busy due to the times of admission, I requested Dr. Meena Prakash to take over, and and I request Mr. Akilesh to permit me to go because I have some work to do. Thanks a lot. Welcome to all the participants.
Okay, sir, now you can continue, please.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please continue.
Yes, 1 second. Again, thank you to Shekhar sir and Meena Prakash madam for arranging this. So, hoping this PPT is being visible to everyone. So today my topic will be around innovation and intellectual property rights, and I'll be talking about this for the next 60 minutes or less, hopefully. Okay, so I'll keep it simple and clear. So first of all, our focus will be on 3 different things, but particularly we'll be talking more on only 2 things. So one is intellectual property right, and the other is innovation. The third one is idea to business. That is just innovation to business. So that is a transition. So our focus will be on mainly 2 categories. That is intellectual property rights and innovation and its businesses. So in intellectual property rights, the clarity that we are hoping to get today is on what is IPR and how does it help me? And second of all, what is international patenting? What is domestic patenting? And what is the procedure in patenting, particularly in patenting? And in innovation, there will be things like what is considered as an innovation, things to be considered before developing a product, and what is business and what is a project in a real world scenario. And there will be things like when you have an idea, when you have an innovation, when you have something patented, how do you make money out of it? That is, how do you take it to the next step? Are you going to start a business, or you're going to approach a venture capitalist or an angel investor in order to create the momentum for your idea? So first of all, intellectual property right. Okay, so basically intellectual property right in simple words is that it is a methodology with which you can protect yourself. That is, your idea shall not be stolen by someone else. So there are a lot of legal things that you have to consider before doing it. It can be a little bit of a difference. So what differences we have to calculate in order to consider a particular innovation, patentable or copyright or something like that. If you have to do something, we have to consider a lot of parameters. So those parameters will be covered. I mean, hopefully I'll try to cover most of it. So in simple words, as I said, intellectual property right is nothing but protecting your idea. That can be any idea. That is not something technology or art or music or whatever. So intellectual property right is a common terminology that is used across every places where there is a role for an idea that has to be protected. Okay, so what are the types of IPR? Because everyone are comfortable with the word IPR, that is intellectual property right. So what are the types there? Because some guy develops a hardware, some guy develops a software, some guy develops a diagram, someone has a music. So everything, see, across domain, every single innovation is an innovation. So every innovation has to be protected. So these are the three major classifications that in an IPR. So first of all, everyone is familiar with something called patenting. I hope everyone is familiar with something called trademark. Also, what is copyright? So I'll briefly explain what these three are. So patenting. So in patenting is nothing but owning a patent. That is, you have an idea. You say this is what the uniqueness of the idea, and you get the government to certify that this is your idea and no one else has the authority to steal or develop a product out of it. Okay, so there are three major classifications in a patent. So because there are some design patents, some people might have some technology patents, some people might have something in the biology department, some whatever plant, some hybrid plant or some hybrid seeds. Hope everybody are aware about hybrid seeds. So plants are also genetically modified plants. So every single real life hardware or software, everything comes under patenting. So the utility patent. So first of all, I'll talk about utility patent. So what is utility patent? So utility patent is nothing but you have a okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say there is a product with which you have innovated something where it is a mixture of two different material. Maybe the current world will be running after mixing three different material or some other materials, but you have mixed some two material and you have developed something new, right? So then that comes under a utility patent. That is the process of a product. Let's say a process of machining or some processes, procedures comes under utility patent. So design patent, okay, utility patent, I'll add one more thing. Utility patent is where technologies also gets covered under. So you have a new technology that you have found, let's say a new method. Let's say even I hear some funny words like 6-stroke engine or some nonsense like that, but still even that comes under utility patent. A new way of looking at engines, a new way of looking at a particular product, that comes under utility patent. Second of all, design patent. So what is design patent? It is not some drawing that you draw and you go and get a patent. No, it is a technology based design. When I mean technology based design, let's say okay, let's say I'll have it in a layman's term. So let's say there is a spoon. Everybody know a spoon has some bubble like structure with a rod like structure. So you have invented something, I don't know, maybe with the two handles. Maybe someone wants to eat with both hands, I don't know. So you have invented some such a design. It is not a product, it's not a technology, it's a design. So you have designed a new concept. You are asking people to eat with two hands. It is funny to hear, but for example, I'm just using this. So with two hands when you eat, so this is a design. A spoon with two handles is a design. So that is an interesting part with design patents. It is not just starting with just designs. I'm just it is across. You have developed a new water bottle structure. That is a design patent. You have developed a new keyboard structure, whatever. Maybe you develop your computer in a very different format. It is a design patent, not a utility patent. Okay, so finally there is something called plant patenting. That is out of my expertise, but I'll vaguely just tell you, it is something like genetically modified plants, or maybe rose cuttings are there, right? You cut a rose and you just implant it into another plant and you just tie it together and you plant it, it grows. So maybe you find some other way to do it or whatever. It is in the plant business, that is the biology business. So I'm not aware about that clearly, but yeah, it is something into biology. So second of all, so a trademark. So this is an interesting part. So trademark is nothing but it is like every single logo you would have seen everywhere. used to have this thing called a trademark, TM or R or whatever will be written. What does that mean is, you have a company, let's say you have some example, let's say the company's name is example, and the yeast is your emblem or a logo. So no one should, copy that and, like what currently Chinese people are doing. It should not, create a problem. Tomorrow you have your logo, someone modifies a little bit, makes it look little bit, similar to your product, and use your brand reputation in order to gain a market. So this has to be stopped, and that is why this trademark is in the play. It can be a symbol, it can be a phrase, it can be a text, even sound, even a smell is also trademarkable. You create a new smell and you trademark it. No one else can have that smell in a particular food product. Let's say you have a food product that has a particular smell that you have created. I don't know what kind of a smell, but some smell you have created that cannot be copied by someone else because it's a trademark one. And copyright is very simple. Copyright is something that is very common actually. You write an article, you write a poem, you write a story, you write a music, you come, and also technology people from IT department, computer science department, we write, I'm not from IT department, but yeah, I write software code. So software codes, these things come under copyright. So copyright is IPR that protects your, textual and, musical creativity, or, your creativity, protects your creativity that is not into technology or that is not into business. So copyright is something that protects everything, that is from music to drawings to even software programs. You create a program, you get a copyright for it, so that no one else can. Most of us in this meeting, maybe I'm not sure, but I hope most of us have come across something called copyright licensing agreement. When they go after some, software codes, if you take from GitHub or something from online, if you try to get it, you will be seeing something called license is, open to everyone, or these are the terms and conditions for using this license. So that is a copyright license. So that is very strict in few countries, but very lenient in some other countries. But this is what we usually have come across in order to solve this textual and creativity based contents. Okay, so patenting procedure. So first of all, there are 3 steps. I have classified it as 3 steps, but it is like 6 steps, but I am trying to fit it into 3 steps. So first of all, initial planning, right? So planning is the basis of any successful patenting. See, when I mean successful patenting, I mean patenting a product and getting it, approved by the government. See, simply applying for patent and losing the patent is stupidity. So these are the things that you have to consider. 5 things that we have classified it as. So first of all, you have to look at patentability. That is whether this particular innovation, maybe let's as of now for this discussion, let's focus on let's say technology patenting. Okay, so if this particular technology that we have developed, is it patentable? So that is a big question. And second of all, clarity on your intellectual property uniqueness. That is, you have to have the clarity because most of us, I have seen many professors too, applying for patent without much clarity on their innovation itself. They believe they have developed something, but there is no clarity there, so that when questions pop up, they cannot back up their innovation and they lose the patent. So that happens regularly. And third, so this is okay. This is a condition. You should not, or no one else should have, published it in the particular country that you're trying to patent it at. So you should not, have it published in a magazine or journal or whatever that, or paper presentation also should not be done. Yeah, so this is something that is very important to consider, because this is where sometimes you have to modify your idea because you already have published it, or you went to a paper presentation in some college or somewhere, or some companies or somewhere. Okay, so fourth, professional patent search. This is not something done by us. This you have to go to the professionals to do it. They search whether this patent is there or not, all the background check. So this is something I recommend for people to do it with paid services. So this is better to do that way. And fifth, this is the final thing that you have to consider, that is, this is very important actually. For me, this is very, very important. So if you have developed a particular technology or something, you have to consider which countries are you planning to focus your market at. So let's say you have developed a technology that can be sold in India, and you have no intention of taking it to America or any European countries, or Japan, or forget about China. They do not have this patenting process at all. But yeah, you go to Singapore or Malaysia. So if you have a plan to go after different countries, then you must see, this is a must. You must have to plan something, which all countries am I going to patent it at. See, these all comes at a different pricing. Sorry, these all comes at a different pricing, so you have to plan that. Okay, so after you plan these things, the second thing is filing for patenting. So this filing is also should be taken care by the professionals. I recommend that you can directly do it. We have an online portal also, or you can walk into some patent office. One is there in Chennai, there is one in Kolkata, one in New Delhi. There are like 4 or 5 or something. Yeah, I'm not clear cut. 5 or something patenting offices are there. So and you have to have a patent attorney to talk to them. But yeah, so first of all, you have to calculate the budget. Okay, I'll give a vague estimation here. If you patent something in India, it would cost you something close to 12,500 or something like that. If you go to a patent attorney or someone who doesn't charge you much, it would charge closely to the, let's say, after everything is getting settled, maybe 15,000 rupees will be your landing cost. Worst case scenario will be 15,000 rupees. But if you go for international patenting, the basic application cost would be 65,000 rupees, right? So after that, there are additional charges. Let's say you select India, Japan, and United States. So United States is like 2.5 lakhs or something, and Japan is also something similar to that. So you have to bring all these into consideration. Is it worth patenting? There are many parameters to be considered before patenting. So yeah, we'll discuss it in the future of this presentation. So second point is filing the patent in the patent office. So as I said, can be done by patent attorney, or you can do it or get some help. That is much better. And after that, the procedure is like this: patent attorney is going to talk to this, approach this representatives of the representing your patent, and they'll be talking with the officials there, and that is a different process. So that is not something you need to worry about. This will take in India, it takes about 1 or 2 years. So that is another trouble. But yeah, so mostly if you just go after United States and come to India, it will be much faster. But in India, it is a little bit slower. So that is something we have to accept. So third category is this is the headache of patenting. Maintaining a patent, right? Say you get a patent. Let's say you have been issued a patent. So successfully you have your innovation, and you have a patent saying that this is your innovation. No one can copy it. So this now comes the problem, real problem. So what you are doing is you are trying to develop. I'll give you an example also. Everybody is aware about a company called Kodak, right? They had they were the kings in camera industry. So what happened was they were the one who invented digital cameras. But the problem they had was they patented it. What they did was they had a very good team to fight in legal battles and everything, protecting no one else should bring this product, that is the digital camera, to the market but they did not bring the digital market to the digital camera to the market. Why? Because it would affect their film industry, that is their film. They developed this photo film, so they wanted that to be a secret. So what they did was, for the next 15 years or so, all these informations were saved. They did not give it out. So they maintained it. See, it would cost them crores of rupees. I mean, maybe in dollars it would be something else, but in rupees, I'll just tell you, it would cost you in crores. So If you fight legally, the legal battles would cost you crores. Maybe it would get you some cash someday, but it would, if you want to protect something from no, see, just because you get a patent, no one else will go and fight for you. Maybe that person making the product will not get a patent, but obviously no one else will say, "Arey, do not use that." Nobody is going to say that. If someone wants to use your patent and not pay you, they'll do it. You have to fight them legally and get some compensation or whatever should be done. But to look around and fighting these battles, it obviously it brings up cost. So for 3.5 years, it would cost you some particular price. There are patents, sometimes it gets issued for 20 years. So you have to understand that you have to maintain the patent, or you don't care, then you can ignore. That is not a problem. But the maintaining a patent is a much expensive process in a patent. So that is a big thing you have to consider. That is why people go and partner with bigger firms in order to get a patent. That is why we have patenting offices in our colleges itself. We had in Kalyana University, we have in AAA college. See, everywhere patenting offices are there. Only problem is, only reason people go after these people are they take care of this maintenance of the patent, because it is too expensive. That is why they ask for an equity in your patent, like 20%, 30%. If you go to Stanford, US, then they charge you 78%. They'll have 22%. You will have. So this is how the world works. But the reason the world works like that is because it is too expensive to maintain the patent. 12,500 rupees or 60,000 rupees you pay and you just get a patent. After that, there is no point in having a patent when you cannot defend it. So that is why bigger companies are there. Okay, so as of now, we were talking about intellectual property right, how can it protect our technology, everything. But there is another side for this intellectual property right business. That is the other side of the market where they make money out of this IPR as a business. That is, let's say you are not an innovator, you do not have any idea there, you do not have any innovation, or you are not a technology person, let's say. So what you can do if you are interested in this IPR is, because this is something of a legal thing, right? So this is like you have to fight every single day in order to get something done. So it is estimated that it is like, in America, see, this is the statistics you can get. In India I cannot get, but in America it employs like 45 million. That is like for 45, that is 450 lakhs Americans in this particular IP industry, that is the intellectual property right industry. And across the globe it is too huge, and the money that the market is making is 46% more. See, if you are employed in an intellectual property right company, let's say a company that gets someone's idea, gets it patented, and if they do that as a service, let's say a person is working there in that company and another person working in some another company but with the same skill set, but this guy in the IPR will be earning 46% more than the guy outside of this business. Why? Because this is a very cash, rich market. I'm not talking about IPR as your, savior to protect your product, but I'm talking about IPR as a business. Again, when I mean business, I mean commercializing this IPR troubles. Like you run some consultancy in order to do this. If you are expert at doing something in IPR, then yes, you can get into this business. There are a lot of companies who are willing to recruit people in order to help other innovators get their innovation certified. That is copyright or patenting or whatever. Okay, so another thing is intellectual property rights drives the economic growth and competitiveness. Yes, obviously it does. You have, okay, in the future presentations I'll explain how it is very increasing the countries or your economical status. I'll explain it, but before that I'll just basically tell you it is a huge thing for a country, not just for you. Because you have something here, you license it to someone else, it would get you, not you, the country itself will get a lot of cash, because the innovations always make huge cash. So that is the bottom line here. Okay, so the second part of the discussion. So What, so innovation. So everybody are talking about every student or anyone in the world should always have innovative ideas. There has to be millions of innovative ideas all around the world. So what is considered as an innovation, right? Because everybody are talking about innovation. So what is considered as an innovation? So innovation is nothing but a new idea. I'll not say it is even a new idea. It's a creative idea, right? Because it is not something like you have a stupid idea. It's an innovative idea. It's a creative idea. It has to be useful idea. You should not, as I said before, you should not have two handles to a spoon and without any advantages there. You cannot call it an innovation. You can patent it maybe, so because no one else is going to use that, so they'll be giving it away. So it has to be innovation is a creative process. You have to have the knowledge in order to innovate. See, you have to have the domain knowledge so high that you can say, no, this is not the way the market works. Let's change it. This is how the market works. So this particular transition can only be done with abundant, not abundant knowledge, with a decent amount of knowledge in the particular domain that you are willing to innovate. So when you plan to innovate, first of all, learn what the particular market is. Let's say you want to innovate something in the water bottle industry. Please learn what currently is in the market and what is the manufacturing procedures. Every single loopholes ever been invented in the bottle industry, right? So if you want to do something in a particular industry, learn about the industry. Okay, so, and if you have some idea maybe in the future, if you have enough knowledge in the particular domain, there is no question that it is going to be a stupid idea, because you have enough knowledge. So you obviously know what is the best innovative idea that would solve a particular problem. Innovation should always solve a problem. It should be innovative. When I see, there are people who patent it. It is very hard to hear, but please believe me, there are people who just for the namesake, just to have their profiles up, they simply just go and patent it, because just 12,500 rupees, anyone can afford it. So simply just spend 12,500 rupees. Hey, file this patent, that patent, that patent. Okay, so I'm just having a pencil. Okay, I'll just have some scratches here and there. I'll just try to patent it, that also. So this is the problem currently in our mindset. We have to go after useful innovations that has to be patented. We should not go after stupid innovations. There are stupid innovations, so to be clear. Okay, so to innovate, there has to be opportunities, right? So I have seen just 5 opportunities currently. This is today's status. Maybe we have 10-15 opportunities, but in this presentation, I'll just talk about this 5, just 5 this innovative opportunities. See, opportunities always force you to innovate. Okay, always opportunities. See, problems always need solutions. No sane person will say, okay, problem, let's have the problem as a problem, let's not go after solutions. So only an idiot would say that. No sane person will stay idle where they see a problem. Okay, so as of now, I have seen just 5 things. So first of all, that is climate change. See, when I mean problem, the problem is not always in reality sometimes a problem. See, climate change, there are people who agree saying, yes, sir, climate is changing. Let's do something about it. But if you are a Trump fan or someone from Trump's friend or something from US, you will not agree with me. If I say climate is changing, you are going to laugh at me. You will say that the climate is not changing. But when I mean opportunity, it is the urge for the 50%, the remaining 50% of the market saying, "Arey, climate is changing, man. Let's do something about it. I'm willing to invest there." See, fear drives innovation. Okay, so every problem always gets backed up by a fear. See, if let's say the climate is changing, no one cares, then it's not a problem at all, right? Everybody has to fear saying the whole world is going to explode, or my house is going to be filled with seawater. See, fear always drives a problem to get a solution. So climate change. So climate change is driving many industries. Clean energy industry, that is solar, different, maybe you innovate something, I don't know. And also there are even people running around saying, I'm going to invent, I was there is something called a Shark Tank. There is a show in US. So I was looking at that and I was laughing. There was a company who was pitching, not a company, a particular person. He's pitching the investor saying that I am going to have a stainless steel pipe. Everybody has to have it in their pocket like a pen. You go to a restaurant, you sip, you have it in a cup, you want to sip, do not buy a plastic straw, because the whole sea is getting filled with plastic straws. Yes, it's a problem, but the problem is backed up by fear that it would affect your climate somehow. See, affecting the climate would indirectly affect your lifestyle. So that is the fear that drives the whole market. Okay, so second, so see, this is not just starting with clean energy and reusable straw. It is a huge thing. Maybe you have some disposal, garbage, disposal thing, or degrading the plastics, or recycling. See, it's a huge market. When we start about this climate change, everybody are aware about this person from Girth or something, that small kid, 14-year-old kid. 17-year-old kid from Switzerland. So people like that, see, use these opportunities. Okay. So second of all, water shortages. So this is a problem in Africa. It is even a problem in Chennai. It is a problem in our place itself. So water shortages are a driving place where you can have some innovations to save water. So it's an endless place. Maybe you overflow of tank is a problem. Maybe you innovate something that many innovations are there, but yeah, opportunities never ends. You can start innovating every single day. And third, the wonderful medical industry, the legend coronavirus 2019. It's 20. I don't know. It will be in 2021 also. I don't know. Medical industries are getting a wonderful, opportunity, and it is getting a wonderful funding for innovation for the very first time in our whole history. So this innovation, I have seen it in many hospitals, saying that okay, let's develop a product that would help our patients. There are hospitals in Bangalore, very big hospitals. I will not name them because we're working with them. They have asked us to develop a particular product. They want to have it as a product in their hospital. They want to use their brand name in order to sell it. They are planning to sell it to every single patients that they walk in. It's a very big hospital in Bangalore, very, very big. That is the biggest hospital in Bangalore. And also a very big hospital in Vellore. They are also looking to partner with this hospital in Bangalore in order to use that. It's a wearable device. So wearable device is something these people are running after. So it's a wonderful opportunity. People are creating some sanitizers. You can look at ventilators. People are developing some. It's a huge opportunity. Medical industry is opening up. Let's seize the moment. That is what. Okay, so fourth, new terrain. When I mean new terrain, I mean new property expansions. That is a particular layout, a particular company's land being procured, or some new things are getting opened. Then yeah, protecting the land is a problem, maintaining the land is a problem. Maybe you sell it as a house, then yeah, you have to have automations there. Expansion, see, we always consume the forest in order to get more land. We sometimes we buy existing land, but mostly we run after new lands. There are many statistics backing it up. So there are a lot of innovation that is needed, because rapidly, if you want to expand, obviously, with lesser manpower, people are looking at for some new innovations that is economical, that is ergonomical, that is just rapid to deploy. So there are many things that this is backing up. So finally, industrial impact. So industrial impact is nothing but, because of this corona, again, I'll bring this coronavirus story. So coronavirus is helping us to innovate a lot in industry, because we are being compelled to run with 30% of the whole company's resources, right? So people are looking to work from home. So everybody must have heard about something called Zoom. And we are also in this, meeting structure. This is the webinar is something new for me, because this is not something that is, it is a normal process for the existing market to work like. studying from home, working from home. This is a new structure of lifestyle that we are running after. I don't know how big it is going to be, but I feel like it is going to be huge. It is going to change the way we look at work and how we work. So industry 4.0, monitoring the whole industry from remote. See, opportunities are endless because you have a problem there. That is being, see, I said about this fear, right? So fear is because industry always was in need of, reducing people, increasing productivity, reducing cost. But this coronavirus has pushed it to the next step. We have to do something. We have to do it immediately. So this is what we have received as a impact from coronavirus. That is an opportunity. Look at these problems as opportunities and not as problems. You always have solution should be innovative, or yeah, it should be innovative. Yeah, obviously, else someone else, if already has done it, it is pointless. Okay. So reality to innovation, right? You always say, okay, I'm an innovator, man, I'm going to invent something. I always invent new things. But there are few hard things that we have to consider. See, there is a difference between being confident and being overconfident. Sometimes people tend to be delusional, right? So you cannot be delusional. You have to be innovative, and also you have to be down to earth, and you have to be open-minded, and you have to consider what can be considered as an innovation and what shall not be considered as an innovation. So okay, so first of all, you have to look at your idea. Is it unique or not? As I said before, it is something similar to patenting. Okay, so if you get something patented, and yes, your idea is unique, so that is easier to consider. Okay, but the important second point is very important. You have to see whether the patent, the idea that you have is already been patented. I have made this mistake a million times. Believe me or not, I have made this mistake a million times. I believe that something was innovated by me, but in reality, because I do not have the exact knowledge on the subject. Because as I said, the knowledge is very important in innovation. More than wisdom, knowledge is the one that plays a major role in innovation. Because a guy with wonderful wisdom but with no knowledge is called a stupid. Because he'll say some stupid things because he's creating something with nothing, and he tries to fit something into that. If a particular person has no idea what a particular, let's say, water bottle is, and he thinks, okay, why not just have something like a tube with a small openable cap, and let's carry water in it. So if you believe that you have developed something, please have a knowledge on it. Maybe if you do not have a knowledge on it on day one, Google it. Google is the biggest knowledge gatherer around today. Okay, so and also you have to look at how unique is your idea, and also is your idea worth patenting? Because if someone can see, there is a hard thing at patenting. You can modify small tiny bits and you can call it your own invention. Today I have developed, let's say, a screwdriver. Tomorrow someone can change the design of the handle of the screwdriver and call that my innovation. So you have to look at, because just because you cannot afford maintaining a patent and filing a patent, so everything is cost. So if you patent it, two things you have to consider. One, is it worth patenting if someone else copies it? And second one, is it worth patenting if someone can ignore it, like it is not marketable at all? If that idea is stupid, like I said, two-handled spoon, if you want to patent it, please look at the market. If, let's say, you talk to people, you do some expose just to collect the information, so if nobody wants it, then it's pointless to have it. So, and also you have to have your innovation feasible or not. So, just planning something like, I want a rocket that flies to space and it comes back and lands on Earth. Yes, it is feasible, but see, SpaceX has done it, but they know it is possible because it is feasible for them. But think about that. Is it feasible by you? Do not rely upon others. Can you do it? So that is very important here. Okay, so next is project versus product. So what is a project? What is a product? So project is something that you develop in your place, and the product is something that these three things has to be considered. That is, one is market, whether it is marketable, whether there are competitors worth competing with them, what is the advantage in your product. So all those has to be considered. Scalability, is your product scalable? Can you mass produce it? Can you, if you mass produce it, can the cost be brought down so that is it affordable for the end customer? And is it solving the problem? That is the main thing. Actually, you should have a problem, you should have an innovation, and there will be competitors, obviously. Is your idea going to solve the problem that the other things are not going to solve? So this is something that you have to consider. And advantages and disadvantages. So you should always have a open-mindedness in order to accept the disadvantages. More than advantages, you have to be open-minded in order to accept the disadvantages, so that you might innovate something else, right? So this is the difference, major difference between a project and a product. Okay, so if you have a new innovative, so this is my final thing. I'll just wind up here because I don't want to take much time. So if you have a new innovative product, let's say you have developed it, you have patented it, everything is done legally, you are pakka, this is an innovation, and you believe it can be marketed, it is feasible, it is mass mass production can be done. So what is next, right? So how do you take it to the next step? You have the idea, you have the pricing done, everything is done. So how can you take it to the next step? How can you make cash out of it? You see, end result is everybody wants to make money, or there are people who do it for the passion, but even the passion has to be alive. The passion will only be alive with the sufficient amount of funding, or the money should not be a matter for the particular person. So money is very important. So how do you market, or how do you take it to the next step, right? So there are many ways. I'll just talk about just a few ways that I personally go after. One is licensing. You have a patent, you have a technology patent, you have a design patent, I don't care, whatever, maybe even copyright, you have a software written, you get as copyright, you just license it. So you license it to bigger companies, right? You license your technology to some big company. Let's say you have a particular innovation that is in the domain of that comes or correlates with a domain where Google or Microsoft, or not that big also, L&T or I don't know, I forget about Infosys. Infosys is not good, but yeah, L&T or any company that is good, big innovative company. So they might use your technology into their product. Their product might be huge. Maybe your technology is small, but this technology coupled with their product might be huge. They might see it that way. There are many companies simply just getting licensing just because some competitor should not take the, licensing deal and develop something competitive. So there are companies like that. So you can charge them based on royalty. You can sometimes sell them. See, every single time you sell a product, pay me a particular amount. So that is one method of bargaining. Other is just selling away one-time money. I give away the patent. I'll never ask about this for the next 20 years. Enjoy. But just settle the payment in one single check. So this is a thing. Okay. So second of all, sometimes, people like me, we run after, manufacturing things. So what we do is we develop something, we OEM it, that is original equipment manufacturer, but white label it. Okay. You have the technology, white label the technology, and sell this particular hardware. Let's say it's a hardware or it's a software as a package. You manufacture it and you sell it. When you sell it to a particular customer, that particular customer is going to use it in their product, but the manufacturing is in your hands. Or the particular, let's say you program a particular microcontroller and you sell the microcontroller. So that program will not leak to anyone else. So the confidentiality will be, in your head. And when you manufacture it, you can have a very bigger margin compared to this royalty deal. Okay. So finally, this is something interesting. So this is something interesting going on in India also. So opening up a new firm, start your own company, entrepreneurship. You have an innovation, you know it is marketable, you know how to go to the market. So if you have something that is worked out in your head, think about entrepreneurship. So there are three major things that you have to consider. One is raising fund. Second one is business model. Third one is market strategy, go to market strategy. Raising fund, you can go to venture capitalists or angel investors. I'll briefly just explain what is venture capitalist. Venture capitalism is a group of investors coming together and investing on different companies. These people are professionals. They handle you like a professional. Angel investors are very different. They are like normal people, successful normal people. They have a lot of cash in their pocket. They want to invest in something. If they believe in it, exactly like Bill Gates. Bill Gates is an angel investor. See, he might be a venture capitalist in some different firms, but individually he is an angel investor. What he'll do is he just goes around, invests on crops, hybrid crops, to be planted in Africa, all those things, all the philanthropy works he's doing. So he is considered as an angel investor. And business model. So most innovators lack this, right? Because they are technically strong, they do not know how to form a business model. They do not know the importance of a business model, because the successful companies are always successful because of the business model. So that is a major thing. I recommend, see, this is my personal opinion. My recommendation is partner with a business person who is an expert in that domain. Give him an equity in your company. Let's say 10%, 15%, 20%. Maybe if the guy is going to spend 100% of his time, give him 50% or 49% if you want to have the majority thing. So business model is very important. You have to go to the market in such a way that it works for you with less resource being deployed. Simply, you cannot say, okay, I have an innovation, I manufacture it, I go door to door and sell it. It's a business model, but yeah, there are many different business models that could help you move even, scale in a very bigger size. Finally, go-to-market strategy. So go-to-market strategy is what is the pricing you have to have, which market segment you have to focus, because there are different market in a single market. There are different categories of market. Even in home automation, I'll give you an example. There are people who cannot afford it. There are people who can afford it. And there are people who simply wants to deploy it for a fun. So people consider it as a necessity. People consider it as a fashion. So there are many different people. So zero spending, let's say 50% spending, 100% spending. So the market is scattered in a very bigger way. So finally, you have to look into the product life cycle. How do you handle the product life cycle? That is, like, you sell it, you give the service. How do you support the customer? How do you manufacture it continuously? How can you meet the demand? If the demand is less, how can you handle it? So these things, I always wish to partner with some experts. When I mean experts, maybe sometime it's you, who knows? But experienced people or someone who's passionate about business should be on board with the innovator to have a business that is successful. That is the bottom line. Okay, so this is my final slide. So sorry to take up much time. So two things I wanted to talk. This is a simple, I'll not call it an advice, but this is my belief. So there are a few hard things in innovation. Innovation is very hard. When I mean very hard, I mean horribly hard, but it's a satisfactory experience. Like, you innovate something, you will feel the satisfaction. Okay, but it is very hard. Product development, new product development, innovating something, creating something. See, this creative process is a headache. 99% of the time you're going to fail. Only 1% of the time you will have something successful. But the 99% of the time is going to consume most of your time. So which means you will be depressed for 99% of the time because you do not see the outcome. But as I said, it's a satisfactory experience of that 1%. That 1% time that you're happy is going to help you, accept that 99% of the headache. But it is going to be very hard in new product development. If you are going to be a robot going to work in a particular fashion, then yes, you need not worry about it. Please enjoy the life. But if you want to innovate and become an innovator, if you want to create new products, please be aware it is a very hard process that will force you to give up. But if you feel like you might give up, better quit now itself. Never get into the process at all, because the experience that you gain there will not help you much, because you are not passionate about it. If you are willing to give up, you are not passionate about it. The second point is, protecting your patent is something of a process that you have to have with an open-mindedness. You cannot have have an adamant idea that saying I am going to protect my innovation because I'm a scientist or whatever. Do not have that hyperactive thing going on. I understand there might be people day 1, day 2, day 3, yes, that hype might be there, but believe me, just because you have invented something doesn't mean you are successful. Anyone can invent, but not everyone can make it as a product. It is very bitter to have a successful innovation versus a stupid innovation or a useless innovation. There are useless innovations, hence it is not innovated. That is something you have to think. Just because no one else has done it doesn't mean it's a wonderful idea. Sometimes it might be a stupid idea, hence no one has done it. Because I personally, this is my personal experience, I see many times I go after some particular methodology which I think no one else has done it. I'll be very proud about it. But end of the day, I see that, okay, I am the only idiot who has done it because it is a stupid idea, because it has more demerits than merits. So think about that. Knowledge is very important in innovation. Learn. Google it. Google is wonderful. Do not memorize anything. Just read about articles, read about things. See, you can have articles, read. See, have wonderful knowledge in a particular domain, you'll automatically start innovating because you know the problem, you know what exactly has to be done to solve the problem. Okay, so bottom line, innovation is always associated with your opportunities. Sometimes the fact that sets apart the innovators and the followers is nothing but when the innovator sees an opportunity, they start acting on it. See, the problems are always around us. India is a place of opportunity. America is a land of opportunity. Everyone says that, but believe me, India is a land of opportunity. There are millions of easier innovations that can be done in India that cannot be done in other countries. Maybe I agree that other countries support you much in a wonderful way, but India has wonderful, demand for innovation. But the field of innovation that India is in demand sometimes might be not of interest to most people, but this is a good thing. That is, India is a wonderful economy that strives for innovation. So when you see a problem, start acting on it. Do not wait for someone to do it. Right? So if you wait for someone, or let's say, I have an idea, but if I take it to the market, if someone else comes it, or I have an idea, but I don't know how do I take it to the market. So if you think like this, you will always be thinking. Always having just a paper patents will not help you go to the next step. Taking it to the next step is making it as a business, selling it or do whatever. But if you do not have any idea about taking it to the next step, then it is pointless. You should react very fast. It doesn't mean that you have to be first in the market, but at least you have to be the first guy or the first person or the first innovator to bring a solution to a problem, not waiting in line for someone else to do it. Okay, so thank you everyone for spending your time here. So yeah, so Meena madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful session. Thank you. So at the end of the two sessions, questions will be discussed.
Sure.
Now, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sabari, Shri, you can introduce.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. If any queries are there, our participants can post it in the chat box. Akilesh, sir, will respond it. Thank you. Our next session resource person is Mr. M. Arunachalam. Mr. M. Arunachalam is currently working as Senior DGM in Product Development Center at L&T Private Limited, Coimbatore. He completed his ME in the field of product design at ESG technology. He had a rich work experience of 33 years. He worked as core team member of Future Vehicle Development Program at Ashok Leyland, IPR coordinator for Product Development Center, L&T. He has involved in various projects like Design and Engineering Services Project for Nissan, Japan, Design Development Project for L&T Valves, Design and Development of Rubber Processing Machine for L&T, Textile Machine Design, Assembly and Commissioning. I invite Mr. M. Arunachalam to express his words and ideas on role of IPR in new product development. Please, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for good introduction. Anyway, let me start. Could you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Good morning to one and all present here. First, I would like to thank Meena, Prakash, and then Shekhar, principal of AAACET Engineering College, and then Kalyana Sundaram, who is the coordinator for this program. I too got enthusiastic in attending the first session by Akilesh Joseph. It was good, and then he covered that IPR and then how to make it as a business, and then what are all the pros and cons. Nicely he has handled it. Okay, but I'm going to talk in a bit differently because that role of intellectual property, how it will help in a new product development. Though I want to cover some of that IPR types and other things, which are all redundant, I will skip. And then rest, which are all not covered by him, I will go into the details and then I will move on. Okay. This is the role of IPR in Indian economy. It is a very important because nowadays, if you see the COVID situation, that IPR in a pharmaceutical industry playing a major role. So who is having the pattern of the vaccination will take the most of the wealth from the other countries. So if you are not reactive to that, and then we will be losing so much of wealth, our economy status also will come down. So this is a slide which explains. Okay, no need to talk on this one. This is a self-explanatory slide. Regarding this content, what are all things I'm going to cover? Intellectual property right, and the types of IPR, what are all that, and then validity of the intellectual property. And then patent document terminology I will touch upon so that whomever wants to read the document now they can understand better and then they can get more things out of that. Then patent filing process and stages. Already he touched upon macro level. I'll go into the micro level and then I'll share the details. And then that international filing process, though he touched the commercial part, I will get into the process and then timeline, how much time it will take, all these things. Then about invention disclosure. But suppose if you are having an idea how you will disclose to that patent attorney, that I will be touch upon. There is a format which we are following. So that also will help you. Then patent study, that is a very important thing because if you, I'll brief in a different way because Akilesh touched whatever we are having an idea how to patent it. But what I am going to talk is how you can learn by patent study. That I'm going to touch in details. That will be very interesting to you. But I utilized so much, so that I'll touch upon. Then patentability check. Then role of intellectual property right in new product development. How documents will help us to develop a new product that I will touch. This is my own experience that I already made several products with the help of this. Anyway, well, let us go in details and then I will explain. So what is intellectual property? That is actually it is originating from human intellect. Of course, we are calling it as a property. Why it has a title? It has a boundary, and then it has a registration, and then it can be transacted, and then tangible, and then subject to loss of land. Okay, whatever that right left boundaries are there, not like that. Here also there are boundaries. If you claim something, you can strengthen your claim by writing appropriate sentences with the help of patent attorney, so that no one can get into your idea and then utilize. For that, you can put a boundary. Okay, that is a meaning. Then rights. An abstract idea which person and then governmental body will give rights for the specific period of time. Okay. There are also two rights are the public right, private rights, and then such things are there. Anyway, these are all available in net. All can go through and then you can understand better. And regarding this, I already covered. Intellectual property right, there are different types are there. One is a copyright, then another one is a trademark, and then patent, then design registration, then geographical indication, and trade secrets. These are all the broader classification. So I'm very much familiar in this patenting, filing, and then that process. Copyright, of course, we are doing for some of our literacy work, and then manuals and other things. Then trademark, of course, we are using all our product codes, whichever product we are launching in the market to have the brand image. We are getting a trademark for various products that we are into. Design registration, of course, it's the aesthetic part of the product. That also we are doing in our L&T. Then trade secret, we are not into. That is actually a confidential information. Anyway, I'll touch upon what is the trade secret in the subsequent slides. You can understand. Then geographical indication, like a basmati rice, Kanjipuram sari, like that, such things are there. That I will touch upon. We are not into. So, what is copyright? It is actually a protection granted under Indian law for the creator for their original work of authorship. So it consists of that computer programs can come under that. Then that computer database which expressed in words, codes, schemes, and any form of dramatic, musical, artistic work, and then cinematographical films, sound recordings, all can come under this. Validity of this one is whomever is filing plus their 60 years will have these rights. This is an example of one of the copyright. And regarding trademark, this is a distinct sign or indicator used by individual and business organization. Actually, whatever product, not that example that cars, if you see Maruti 800, Alto, and that Visa, and then all know it have is that product tag that we use. We have to register it. Then only others cannot use that one. Otherwise, after you branding, if somebody also coming with Brisa, you won't have authentication to stop them. So if you want to have your own brand, you have to file it. Under filing also, there are many classifications are there. Under which category you want to file a trademark also, it's a very peculiar because there are so many classifications under that automobile, the construction equipment, industrial application, so many things are there. So under which we have to select and then apply, then only you are allowed to use as your brand name. These are all the examples, the Reliance Communication, Apple, and then McDonald's, and then Twitter, all are having the logo, all they have had it. And these are all another example, Paytm and then PayPal, by using the same P, how they are confusing their branding. Then design registration. Design registration is nothing but that aesthetic shape of this one. You can take a snap, that orthogonal views from top view, side, ISO view, all you can keep it. You can make it as a no need to give any explanation. Pictures are enough. And with that, you can do a design registration so that that aesthetic portion of the yours is protected against your competitor. And this is a trade secret. Trade secret is another interesting one. This is actually a formula, practice, and then process generally used be a trade secret. The example that KFC, they are having a secret of ingredients. Okay, what they are having in their this. But and all they patented, so others cannot use the same. Let's see, those all will come under sales method, distribution method, consumer profiles, then advertising strategies, then list of suppliers and clients, then manufacturing process, material composition, all can come under trade secret. And this is the geographical indications. Actually, if a particular thing, if it is getting manufactured from the particular area is getting popularized, town or region or the country specific thing, that will come under this one. That is the example is basmati rice, and then this Kanjipuram saris, Darjeeling tea, and then the Swiss watch, So all are the example for the geographical indication. So particular things which is coming out of that region will get a branding. So these are all the other trademarks you can see in India that are all there or there. So just to give an idea, it is available in the net. You can go and see in it. This is a patent. This is a very interesting one. This is my area. So patent is a statutory right for an invention granted for a limited period of time to the patentee by the government. That patent is actually only at 20 years. So beyond that, it will become a public property. So whatever the commercial benefit you want to have it, you have to do it through within the period of 20 years. So it will protect others from making, using, selling, importing the patented product process or producing that product, those purposes without his consent, because somebody is having rights without his consent. No one can make, use, sell, import, or any other form from anywhere else. So for that, this patent is playing a major role. Then inventor has the rights to decide who may or may have to use the patented invention during the period of production, the 20 years period, not beyond that. Beyond that, it will become a public property. Anybody can use. No one can stop. So the criteria for the patent is it should have novelty. Novelty means it should have that newness. Then inventive step you have to explain. Then it should have industrial applications. So these are all the three criteria. It is very important for patenting. So without that, you cannot claim for patent. As I said, that validity is only 20 years. So in a simple way, it should be a new product process. Then non-obviousness we have to ensure. It should have usefulness. Then capable of industrial application. This is an example of one of the patent, just because it will be interesting to you youngsters. So that only I brought this example. Many are there. Anyway, to start with. A game of 6-player circular chess invented by a wheelchair-bounded 9-year-old Jaipur boy. His name is Hridayeshwar Singh, but he owns the rights to use this invention. 6 players can play with a circular chessboard. This is his invention. He patented this concept. This is one example I can say. So another method of stopping the stolen car without high-speed chase utilizing the barcode sensor. There is one of the US patent. This is available in net. Okay, you can have a look. The time is very short. I'm having a content huge, so I'm rushing through. Okay. So these are all non-patentable things. So which is frivolous and then claiming anything obvious contrary to known established natural laws cannot be patented. And that an invention primary intended to use a commercial exploitation and then which is not good for country and then public against ethic such patented. What are all not patented I'm covering. So this is an what is a gist of patent, trademark, design, copyright, and geographical indication. So what is the invention? This is a invention or coming under the patent, and then word and logo will come under trademark. Then external appearance and design registration. Then literature, software, algorithm, and musical work are coming under copyright. Then specific to geography will coming under geography. The validity I already explained. This is a consultation of that one. Criteria also shown at the bottom. Okay. So you should have a original work for copyright, then new and original for design, and then relation with the geography for geographical indication. Then confusion in mind of customer and phonic similarity is good for this trademark. Then novelty, inventive, non-obviousness is mandatory for. So this is an example that Apple phone, whom are using, having 7,000 patents for various technology inbuilt in their phone, so that others cannot just like that copy and then make a multiple out of that. So that Apple is top of the market. So even the multi-touch technology, Apple have more than 200 patents. These are all the summary. So let me get into the patent document terminology. Okay, this is very important because if you say some of the area of your interest, if you Google it, there are standard that Three websites are available. I'll share with you the links. In that, if you search, you can find out that umpteen number of patents in that area. Because I'm using patent in a different way. So first let me explain, then I will get into the role of patent in new product development. Okay. So the title, you can see the title of the patent, and then field of invention you can see, and then the background of the invention. So background means that why this invention is needed. Okay, that they will be explaining in the patent. And then summary. Summary means the total abstract. You can see the right hand side. Then detailed description you can find it inside the patent, and then drawings, and then description of drawings, the examples, clients, abstract, everything you can see inside the patent document. This is one of the picture, you can see it in the front page with the cross section. So whatever ideas they want to patent it on, they will explain in detail, okay, in the patent. So that if you want to familiarize some technology, which you are not aware, by reading only through the patent, if you are having an interest, you can understand, and then you can learn more things out of the new technology. So this I'm using for so many years. I got a very good benefit. So I urge everyone to look into this. And then whomever want to learn new things on the particular area, they can get into the patent, and then they can learn more and more on this using the patent documents, which is available in net. This is a typical patent granting process. You can see it's as Akilesh said, it is a time-consuming process. In India, it is taking 7 to 8 years. Even of course, I applied some 18 to 19 patents. But I got only one got granted. Different things are at various levels. Some are in hearing, some are in some post-grant opposition, then pre-grant opposition, and then some are asked by IPO some explanation. What is the novelty? What is the inventory steps? Like that. Okay. Anyway, this is give the timeline of the just to have an idea, because that filing and publication will happen in India in 18 months from the day of filing. Even filing also, there are two are there. One is a provisional filing, another one is a complete specification filing. Provisional filing is nothing but once you get an idea, you want to protect that idea with a name and then small abstract, you can do it. But within a 12 months of period, again, you have to go to patent office and then you have to apply, and then through the complete specification. Otherwise, it will become a void. So that you have to do. So from the day of completion of filing, within 18 months, it will be published in the public domain, and then so that all can see it. And then recuse for examination, you have to pay the fees, and then you have to execute that one, so that it will be examined by the authorities, and then they will issue that first examination report. Okay, so all will happen in the period of some 4 years. Okay. So after that, you have to respond to the queries, whatever the report asked, and then if it is okay, and then there is no issue, they will grant. If it is any issue, they will go for that. If some company has come for pre-grant opposition, then we have to go for hearing and then decision and then appeal, like our civil court activities only. It will go for a long time, and then after that only it will be granted. Okay. This is the total process involved. Even in my thing, I got only one patent got granted recently. This one I applied in 2012. Okay, now only I got a grant. Okay, it is a huge process, but it is worthy to do. Okay. So this is regarding that international filing. International filing, you have to be, as Akilesh said, if you have to be very specific on which are the countries you are having a business potential, because there's a huge investment involved. So based on your business case, you have to decide whether to go for international filing or not. In that case of international also, you have to say which are the countries you are interested, because each countries have a different price tag. And then here, on PCT, that is a Patent Cooperation Territory is there. So it's formed in 1970 at Washington. It is comes into action from 1978. Around 151 countries are clubbed together, and then they are handling this activity. So here, what benefit you will get it from the day you file, within 12 months, you have to approach this PCT, so that once you file in the PCT, it will do the patent search and then patentability check, and then it's what is that, valid for patenting, like that. They will give the document at last, but that takes 30 months from the day of application. But that is actually only it will say it is what is that, free from any infringement, like that. They will give one report. So with that report, you can apply in 151 countries, which is coming under this PCT. So many countries are in that. I'll show you the list of countries which are all in PCT, just for audience benefit. Okay. This is 153 countries you can see through. So once you have a PCT filing, you will get a rights to file in all the countries. Okay. So no need to go to each country and then do the patent search and then all the drafting and all these things. So this 53 countries will be covered once we do the PCT filing. So this is a PCT process. So here within 12 months, we support to do the PCT filing. From that, that international search report will come. So we have to respond to that. And then finally, you will get that document saying that you can go and file it in that 153 countries without, this is a common step for all countries. So after that, you can directly go and file it. Okay, no need to do again patent search and other searching activity. Okay, it is free from that international infringements, and then you are allowed to file it in the individual countries. Okay. So as I said, there is a provisional filing and complete specification filing. Two classifications is there in the filing. Okay. So this complete specification filing will have that whatever you are seeing in the patents are same information will be having in this complete specification filing also. So title, abstract, field of invention, background, summary, everything you have to explain. And early publication. Suppose there is a provision by paying some amount, your patent document will publish yearly. This is to get what is that? You want to accelerate the process. You can do it through this route. Okay. If you are not doing, but after 18 months, it will be published. If you want to do it before 18 months, then you have to pay some 10,000 rupees, I hope. That if you pay, it will be published. And this is an invention disclosure form. This is very important between a patent attorney and you. So once these are all the things they will ask for filing. Okay, what is that title of invention? Then search time and synonymous. This is nothing but that who are all the competitor in this innovation, and then what are all the different names used for the particular invention. All the things you have to spell it out. Based on that only they will be doing the search, and then they will say it is a patentable or not. Okay. Then field of invention you have to specify. Then background of invention. Background of invention is nothing but what is the existing equivalent one is available for your invention. You have to explain, and then you have to explain what is the drawback in that. And then how your then you have to explain your inventive things, and then how your innovation will help to come out the drawback. Also you have to explain, and then some sketches you have to give. And then if any publication or presentation or anything you already made also you have to give. Sometime by seeing that they may make you invalid, because you should not participate in, as Akilesh said, you should not participate in international journal or any other form. You should have not published that information before coming to the IPO. Then any public communication is there or not, they will ask. These are the basic things on then inventor details. The inventor can be a single or as a team also you can do it. Patent search databases. These are all the free databases available. So Espanet, ESPTO, Snowbrain, and then Google Patents, and then free patent online IP, because there are paid services available. But paid services, if you have a business worthy and then have funds, and then you can do it, but may not be required, because in the free search itself you can find a lot of patents in your related areas, and then you can compare, and then you can ensure that it's free from all info. Then role of IPR. This is an interesting topic. This I want to explain in detail, because here now when you are searching the patent, you will come to know what are the trend in competitor technology. Example, on fuel system, if you see the fuel injection system, if you type now, so who are all inventors there, and then what are the current technologies prevailing, and then what are all absolute, because that whichever is across more than 20 years now, you are allowed to use, okay, such things and all you can classify, and then you can make a whole comparison of all the documents. So even if you are not having a knowledge, because you are all engineers, and then you are going to work in a new forms, and then this one, instead of going and asking individual, if you go through the pattern search, you can find out the technologies which is currently prevailing in the industry, and then by seeing the brochure and the net collection data, you can familiarize yourself, and then you can collect more and more data, which even your boss may not be knowing. To that level, you can collect the data. So for that, it will be very helpful. So I'm insisting everyone to get into the pattern search if you want to do something in your related area. Then abstract of the pattern with the novelty and usefulness also you can collect. And then prior art about the existing arrangement. As I said, each pattern will talk about what is the existing, because if you are saying the 20 years before one pattern now, what is available 20 years before now, that they may be talking, what is the drawbacks in that they will be explaining, then how to overcome the drawback with their invention also they will be explaining. Then they will talk about the advantages of the new things. Everything will explain in detail. So by reading that material, now that is a very good literature. So by reading that one, you will get a more innovative idea, and then you can how to make an alternate one to overcome these ideas also. You can have a thought process when you are reading that material. Then what are all the old claims, and then what are all the new claims, all the things you can compare, and then you can do a good job. Okay. Then, as I said, that any absolute ideas, suppose on area fuel injection system, though it is absolute in Europe or some other country, in some car industry or something in car sector, but when you want to consider for earth moving, because that is always the gap between earth moving and automotive and aircraft, there's a huge gap. So what is currently in aircraft now will come later in car after 5 years, then come later in truck and buses after 5 years. So those things, you can understand by reading this pattern. And then, so what is absolute in aero industries now, if you take and then adapt in your trucks and buses, that will be what's beneficial to the organization. Such things and all you can work on. Then cost of new arrangement. Suppose some new pattern things is available, which is very interesting, that is solving my problem like that. If you identify, then even with that now you can make a rough cut 3D model, and then you can understand the functionality. Even earlier days, in my days, because since I am having a huge experience, if you see very old days, if I want to copy some technology, I have to buy the similar machine, and then I have to strip out, and then I have to do each and every measurement, and I have to do all the things. That's we used to call it as a reverse engineering, and then a lot of pain areas, because importing the machine, stripping it, then if anything breaks, and then all the things were done. Then before taking the decision on reverse engineering, now you have to analyze so many machines. Those are all not possible those days. But now, with all internet information, with all the patent document, you can compare all the technologies available in your related interesting area, and then you can identify, okay, which is a cost effective. Even by doing a different 3D model of a different proposal, now you can identify which is beneficial for your organization, and then your design work, and then you can make a rough cut model, and then you can do some FEA, and then you can understand the that failures, and then you can strengthen it, and then you can very well compare your design. Okay, very well compare your design, and then you can take a decision. And then even in my field, there is a rubber processing machine, which I'll be covering in subsequent slides. Okay, that is actually imported by some customers, and even I am not allowed to go and see inside, because those are all very big customers. Even so even there is a IPR between the customer and that multinational company. That customer should not showcase this product to anybody else. There is a NDA between them. Even the gate lock, they are not allowed to give it to others to see or copy or anything. So such a NDA things are there. Okay. Okay, so with that restriction, no, we cannot go and see the machine, we cannot understand the technology, but without no cost, sitting in my place, going through the net, downloading the that particular pattern, and then strip out that cross sections, and then all the things which are all available as this one. Because in order not to copy that, no, they have published the information, but I want to know the competitive technology, how it is working, how simply they have made all these things. No, by going through the pattern, I can understand better, and then I can do it. Sorry, there is an interruption. Hope my screen is visible still. Am I right? Anyone can confirm? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir,
Okay,
audible.
okay, screen is visible. Yes, okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay. So the working principle of the patented concept I can study, and then I can make an alternate proposal, and then I can work on. Then the claims part. Okay, competitor now having a specific claim. So why they are given the claim is, if you configure in a such a way, these are all my claims, you should not copy. Okay, that is only valid for 20 years. So I have to immediately go through the patent priority and see whether how many years are there to absolute. If it is nearby absolute, then I can wait, and then I can do, because my development cycle also some time. So by the time I the concept, and then I make the proposals, and then once the validity is over, I can launch my product. Okay, that is the one way. Other way, to overcome the patent claims, no, what are the better ideas? What is the alternate proposals? Such things and all, I'll work, and then I'll make alternate proposals, and then I'll share with them. Share with my manufacturing team, and then I'll get their concurrence, and then I'll make a proposal. So that is a way I'm using the pattern for my new product development. Okay. Then moment I get an alternate idea, because whatever my idea, no, I have to see whether it is original or not, how I can validate it. Because internationally, so many patents are there, because one or another form of my idea may be presented. So what you have to do is immediately you have to go for provisional filing. Then you have to go, so by that now you are protecting, you will get a priority, because from the day of filing now you will get a priority. Whether you are getting a patent or not, that will come at later stage, but the data filing is very important for the timeline. Okay, then you can work on proving a new idea through the prototype validation and all these things. On successful validation, once you shape your idea, then you can go for a complete specification filing. Okay, complete specification filing means that with all drawing, and then whatever I said, no, everything you have to explain in detail, and then you have to approach the patent attorney, or on your own also you can go to patent office, and then you can file, and then you can do it. After crossing all the steps, you will get the grant. It is taking 7 to 8 years as of now, but government is working on how to reduce the timeline to get the early benefit. Okay, that is the one. This is one example. I want to show it to you. This is typically a hydraulic press. Okay, it is used in the rubber industry. You can see the right hand side. This is how big with the structure and all these things. This is a new innovative concept how the Germans has made. Okay, if you are a mechanical structural engineer, you can understand easily, because this is a these are all the two gateways, and then this is a hydraulic cylinder which is coming and closing, and then is exerting a force. Here, no, if you see, because the idea is to keep the various mold heights. Okay, different height I have to adjust, and I have to lock it, and then I have to apply the closing force. That is a functionality I am expected. Here, with how many components the conventional machine has done, you can visualize it. For the same size, same thing, how they have made. These are all naturally two cavities, RH cavity, LH cavity, because both are look similar. One is in a closed, another one is in an open condition. You can appreciate the patented idea. Okay, this is a column actually. In the column, you can see there are grooves. Okay, So for the different mold height, it will be locked in first groove or second groove or third groove. So by that, it will stay in this position. From there, this is a huge cylinder. Okay, by seeing the picture, no one can expect cylinder people will keep like this. But here you can see how bulky the cylinder is. But here is a small hollow cylinder, they kept it, and then they are locking it. From the locking position, they are exerting the force. By that, they are achieving the closing force. See, this machine is actually 22 tons, the weight. For the same size, in the patented concept, I could get it with the 12 tons. You see the cost, how much I have reduced. Okay. Our conventional machine, actually it is 1.25 crore for the similar machine which I am making. But whereas if I do it through this way, material is less, and then what is that? Layout also very compact, and then force flow is very short within the this one. Okay. So it is in a very compact force flow path. So number of components involved in force transferring is very less. So reliability is less. Number of components has come down. Height has come down. You can see the person height and then the machine height and then this made height. This is actually around 4.5 meter, whereas this will go around 6, and then even the extended condition will go up to 8 meter. Okay, that much space customer is needed. By understanding this one, I have made an alternate proposal. With that, I have made the machine and then we exported to different countries, and then now it is fine. It is free from infringement, but I have done a little bit differently. Okay, this is a benefit I got it for my organization as well as myself. Okay, so this is that schematic representation of the competitor sketch you can see. Okay. Here, he has made it in a very modular way. So this is a bottom switcher. He has one is that column. It's a fixed column on which this upper housing is moving. Now the same machine, he is making is a ulta, and then so that this column got integrated in the top structure. So as a whole, it will move up and down, but skew cylinder he is keeping it here. So this is he made these two as a patented concept. Even last 15 years, people are trying to break this one, but we are unable to do, because the same rod is doing a tying function as well as the guiding function. It is not existing in the conventional machine. Okay, so this. So by recognition for the inventor, so by doing this patent search and then study and then doing innovative approaches, you will creativity will be enhanced, and then you will be adding value for asset to the individual, because you are here you will put it, once you comment the patent document your name, so it will speak forever. Okay, so whomever searches, they will remember your name, and the organization also will get benefited. And then as a country, as I said, how simple and how cost effective way we can make the same functionality you have gone through. So with that, we'll get a saving to the company as well as to the country also. So that by doing this one, we can bring a competitive machine and then competitive technology with our alternate ideas and alternate proposals, so that importing of machines from German and US can be stopped with the help of this patent exploration methodology. Okay, then widening the knowledge base with reference to latest trend, this I already explained in a different form. And then if it is a breakthrough invention, as Akilesh said, we can fetch a revenue out of that. But for getting the revenue from others by making a business, you have to invest a lot. But if it is a worthwhile, we can do it. But in our industry, it's not that much worthy. So we are only doing for ourselves, and then we are going ahead. That's all from my side. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the session. Sabari.
Yes, thank you, sir. If any queries are there, participant, please turn on your microphone, or you can chat in the chat box, and you can clear your doubts. You can ask both of the resource persons.
Can I unshare my screen? Hello? Can I unshare my screen?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, the question is, what is the legal action against copyright violation?
Okay.
Sir, Arunachalam sir, please.
Yes. Okay. I'll answer. See, suppose they can stop you from making a copy of that document. Okay. For that, no, they have to see the business sense. Okay. For stopping, no, they have to spend a lot of money. Okay. If they are having a really business sense, suppose some what is that Ilayaraja music and all, now you are heard that between there's a quarrel between SPB and Ilayaraja. He should not use the Ilayaraja things into so many things like that. Things are there. If they are having a business sense, if they are worthy to fight and then stop the other person to do it, then they have to spend the money and then stop it. Okay, it's a lot of commercial involved. That's a case to case. People will take a call. Akhilesh, I am. I hope I clarified. If you add any points, you can add out, because since you also touched upon this one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Actually, to be honest, I'm not expert at these legal actions.
Okay. Fine.
I'm yeah. So I can say that yes, as you said, sir, there is nothing to add there. But
Okay.
yeah, it is an expensive process, very expensive process. Maintaining IPR is very expensive.
Yes. Say example, I will tell one case because one of my IPR, no, actually it got patented in India, but I am unable to file in international forum because of the commercials. No, I'm not having any business sense to patent it. That was costing around some 5 lakhs. But what has happened is some European or German company, no, they have came out with the same idea. They filed in the international forum, but they are not allowed to do it in India. But to stop them, no, I have to pay some 2 to 3 crores to the attorneys and the other things. So my organization is not worthy to spend lavishly. Okay, we are not having that much huge business. Okay, so then we decided let them do it. When they come to India, we can stop them, not in their territory. Okay, like that we decided and then we closed.
Okay.
But case to case, we have to decide.
Sir?
Sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. One more question in the chat box from Reena Kumari and Srinivas. Do we have to pay something for copyright, and to whom? What is the duration of a copyright? Is it lifetime or for certain period? This is the question, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. Anyway, I already covered. I'll show it to you once again for the benefit of others. Okay, so that all can understand. I'll share my screen again. Okay. So this is a slide talk about the duration on which you can have a copyright. Okay, this is actually a life of the person plus 60 years. Okay, for the algorithm or software on literature or any musical work what you are having. So like that, different time period for different things are available. But the commercials, no, you ask, say example pattern, no, individually if you do, it will cost around some 50 to 60,000 with all fees and other things, because different stages, different fees you have to pay. For trademark registration, I am spending around 9,000 rupees as a government fee, and then 6,000 as a professional fee, around 15,000 I am spending. For design registration also around 15,000. Copyright, I'm not very sure, I forget. Okay, some maybe within a 10,000 or 12,000 only, maybe. Okay, that you can check it out. Okay, I hope I answered your queries. Okay, this table is a self-explanatory with all details.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Arunachalam, for your queries.
Okay.
And I think any more questions? And one thing, sir, Akilesh, sir, principal sir said that you have some experience about ventilator design. So you can share for 2 minutes about that, and after that we can end the session.
Okay, so ventilators. Okay, so what we did, I'll just tell you, and what we have. Okay, what we went to the media with is not what we have manufactured right now. So I'll just briefly explain what we have done and what is ventilator. So basically, first I'll start with what is ventilator. So ventilator is helping the patient to breathe when there is a problem with your lungs. There is something called pneumonia. It is filling your lungs with fluid. So if your lungs is filled with fluid, you cannot breathe. You cannot have the oxygen exchange between the lungs and your blood. So what we are doing here is we are having a simulated lungs outside of the patient. So the device that we have installed will on the patient will act as a lungs. So the patient will not breathe. The machine will breathe for the patient. So in simple layman's terms, if I have to say, it is mixing oxygen and atmospheric air in a particular percentage as per the doctor's wish, and with a little bit of a pressure that the patient can handle. You are just pumping it to the patient and relieving it. There are many parameters that has brought up. So what we have done is something where, what we have done is we have developed automatic system where it automatically detects the patient's breathing pattern and synchronizes with it, like supporting the patient in order to breathe, all those things. And yeah, there is a problem here. So everybody is aware about the company called Mahindra. So what Mahindra did was they did a ambu bag pressing machine. They called it a ventilator. They were so proud that they called it for 7,500 rupees. We have developed the cheapest ventilator. It is so pathetic that every single doctor I know was complaining about it. So that is the only reason we went into this. It was an opportunity we tried to seize. So we developed a mechanical ventilator that is a perfect piston pump. Every mechanical people would have been aware about a piston pump. So it's a piston pump based ventilator. We have patented it as few questions were. So how do you fight legally? All those questions were there. So what I did was I partnered with a company in Japan. Okay, I do not have the cash to defend my patent. So what I did was I partnered with a patented it in Japan itself. Then they fight the legal battles. They spend some 1 crore per year to fight it. So we license it to companies like I forgot the company's name. Okay, there is a company licensed company's name I forgot. I'm extremely sorry. We have licenses to a company. They are into clean room. I forgot the company. It's a Japanese multi. It's a multinational company. It's a public company. So we license it to them and we manufacture it. And in India also we are manufacturing it. We have a touch screen. All those stories are there. So yeah, so this is something that we try to do exactly like our presentations were focused on. This is something we try to seize the opportunity. So this is an opportunity that is giving us an opportunity to develop something. We developed it. We have some innovative things in that, like making it economical but not compromising on the quality. So yeah, this is the status of our product. Meena, madam, so that's all. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for your sharing. And Arunachalam sir has answered queries also. Which website gives information about patent filing in India? He said Indian Patent Office URL has all the info on patent filing process. Thank you, sir. I think with no more queries, we can nicely end up the session with all the cooperation of the participants and the resource persons. Sabari, Shri, you can give a vote of thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Akilesh sir, Arunachalam sir, and participants.
Thank you.
A good event never ends in the world. They take only a pass and keep us awaiting for the next. I thank our beloved principal of AAACET, Dr. M. Shekhar, and Dr. Meena Prakash, president of IIC, and also other faculties for arranging this webinar on IPR. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I express my heartfelt gratitude for our resource person, Mr. Akilesh Joseph, and Mr. M. Arunachalam for their informative words and ideas for us. Thank you, sir. Finally, yet importantly, I thank all the participants for your kind cooperation. Thank you all. You can find the feedback link in the chat box and please fill it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you all the participants, and the feedback link will be posted in the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Thank you one and all.
Thank you. Thank you.